Our neighbor, Mara. When I was 10, my mom got a new job, hence shifting to Wisconsin. My dad bought this house in the suburbs and the neighborhood seemed friendly until I met Mara. She happened to be our next-door neighbor, and my mom made friends with this woman pretty fast. She would come maybe twice a week, and they'd sit around the coffee table on our balcony and just talk. One day, I was on the balcony with them. I'm not sure why I was there, but knowing me, I was probably bored. So, we're sitting there, they're gossiping about who knows what when my mom got up to get some cake she had baked recently. I remained sitting at the table with Mara, and that's when my life changed forever. Mara was a spooky-looking woman. She was about 5'6", skinny, with long black hair, pearly white teeth and big yellow eyes. Her eye color was so unnatural that it was unsettling to retain eye contact with her for more than 3 seconds. We sat quietly when all of a sudden, she turned towards me. A creepy grin appeared on her face. Her bright red lipstick with bright white teeth made her look even scarier. She started to tilt her head slowly from left to right, almost like a puppet. And then she spoke in the voice of an 8-year-old girl. "You ready to go now?" I kid you not, hearing her voice change drastically with the disturbing body language combined. A cold shiver ran down my spine. Huh? What? You ready? While saying this, she pulled a black rose out of her purse. That's it, she just took the weird-looking rose out and held it there. Her bony fingers accompanied by long yellow nails dangled in the air as she held the rose towards me. That was the first time I saw a black rose. I started sweating in fear when my mom came with the cake. "Here you go, Mara. Try this. I baked it yesterday." Mara, almost as if someone pushed a button on remote control, switched back to her normal self, putting the black rose back into her purse without my mom noticing. I left the balcony creeped out, but I was tense, so I brushed it off quickly. I didn't know something way more vile waiting for me at night. My room is on the first floor, and my window is at a maybe 5 height. I was never an easily scared kid, but that night doesn't know why a weird feeling crowded my mind. I would turn in my bed constantly and look at the window after every 5 minutes. It was getting late and I started to doze off slowly. Before falling asleep, I decided to look into the window one last time. And there she was. Standing in the freaking window, Mara. Just standing, looking directly at me. The moonlight fell on her, illuminating the same grin I saw on her face in the morning. Her red lipstick was smudged and stained her white teeth. I was paralyzed with fear. I often imagined what I do in situations like these, and I always had an escape plan for any hypothetical I threw at myself. But now, when our psycho neighbor was staring at me through my window at 3 a.m., just smiling, I was motionless. My mouth got dry. I got goosebumps and I swear I could feel my room temperature drop to minus. After being like this for a minute straight that felt like an eternity, I finally gathered the courage to get up. I started walking towards the door with trembling feet while sweating like a dog. As I kept moving, Mara's evil yellow eyes followed me in a slow but cringing motion. Slowly, slowly, slowly. With the grin still there. Again, it was as if she were a puppet. I wanted to scream for my parents, but my voice somehow died that time. I raised my hand to grab the doorknob and froze. I froze because she moved. She lifted her skinny hand that held the same black rose. "I hope you're ready now." Hearing that same spine-chilling voice coming out of an adult woman, I was on my way to pee my pants. "Please. Just leave me alone." As soon as I said that, she smiled, disappeared, and an angry frown took place. She nodded her head from left to right, gesturing no. Then, she grabbed the window pane. But every move she made was so slow, so mechanical. She started charging the window with both of her hands, and I realized she is trying to get in. I was so horrified witnessing this scene that I forgot to react for a while. The window slid open and she shoved her head in from the gap. I quickly realized the impending doom and grabbed my door to get away from my room. But based on my luck, the doorknob was stuck. I was freaking, panting in fear, trying my best to unlock the door, but it didn't buzz. Well, Mara was halfway through and screaming in that freaking child voice, "You're coming with me. Hehehe. You will be my final one." Suddenly, the door slammed open and I ran out of my room, screaming for my dad. My dad, being a light sleeper, jumped out of his bed and screams back at me, "What the hell is going on?" All I could muster to say was, "Mara. Window." While Dad was putting his pants on, I ran back to my room, just to check if Mara was still there or not. You know, how in horror movies the person you saw is gone by the time witnesses come? Yeah, something similar happened, except I caught Mara leaving. There was a house some 100 yards away from mine, and it had one of those motion-activated lights. I saw the light turn on, and a glimpse of Mara disappearing behind that house. By the time Dad came in, she was nowhere to be seen. After much talking, he decided that it was just a nightmare and told me to call him only if someone physically comes into my room. "You and your imagination," he said, walking away. Needless to say, I got exactly 0 hours of sleep that night. The next morning, I woke up and found cop cars standing in front of Mara's house. People in our neighborhood gathered around her house. I walked outside and saw 2 paramedics stuffed talking out something in stretchers that were wrapped inside black plastic bags. Not understanding a thing and also not being able to spot Mara anywhere in that chaos, I stood there with a blank face. My mom and dad were talking to a cop, and when they saw me, they immediately came towards me. My mom was sobbing and my dad looked very serious. He sat me down and said, "Mara has been arrested this morning." After receiving a complaint from a woman in the adjacent neighborhood, the cops came for a routine check and found everything that they never expected from this woman. It is said that she was involved in witchcraft. The cops have found 4 dead bodies of kids aged from 6 to 9 years, buried in her backyard. With every corpse, she also buried a black rose. It seemed like she was running a satanic ritual for which she sacrificed these innocent lives. My mom hugged me in tears and my dad apologized for not believing me last night. I could see the pain and trauma in my parents' eyes. They were thankful to God that I managed to survive. There is no doubt that I was her chosen 10-year-old who would have completed her ritual. That's why she said I was the final one, and that black rose symbolized death. Till today, I wake up at night covered in sweat with the fear that Mara is standing near my bed, tilting her head to the left, with the same evil grin and saying, "You're coming with me." Hehehe.